Hello class, Mr. Stone here. The lesson we have today is multiple step equations, okay? So what we're going to start with is I put up the PEMDAS, the orders of operation, because we do have parentheses here, and you should always keep familiarizing yourself with how this works, the addition, the multiplication, and so forth. Which goes first, what goes second, okay? So let's just go right through this, okay? So what we have here in the first problem, we have a -3 brackets, parentheses, 1 plus 6r, end of parentheses, equals 14 minus r. So hey, how this works is the -3 goes to this one, and it also goes to this one, okay? So we go -3 times 1 is -3, and then it's negative times a positive. Well, that's going to be a negative, remember that. Negative times a positive is a negative. So it's 318 r. Okay, equals 14 minus r. Okay, now what we have to do is, hey, I'd get rid of the 1r. This is a 1r, okay? 1r. What I'd do is I'd subtract that 1r from both sides. What you do to one side, you do to another. So we got to add an r to this side. That's going to get rid of the negative r. And we add an r to this side. It's a 1r. These two cross each other out. The 14 comes down. Bring the 14 down. Now, let's see what we got over here. The -3 comes down. -3 comes down. And -18r and plus a 1r, we're going to have a -17r. Equals. Now, I'd move the negative, I get rid of the -3 over there. So we want to add 3 to both sides. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. These two cross each other out. This all comes down, the -17r, -17r, okay? And this comes down to 17. So we got -17r equals 17. What I do now, I still got to get the r by itself. Hey, divide both sides by -17. That gets rid of this, okay? These cross each other. And we got a -17 over there. We're going to find r equals -1. And that's it. That was it. So that wasn't too hard. You just have to go step by step by step and work left to right, and you can solve this, okay? Let's move on to the next one, okay? So we got 10 outside brackets, okay? X plus 3, end of brackets, plus 9x plus 4 equals 8 minus 2. Hey, we just got to work nice and slow on this, okay? So remember, the 10 goes to both sides, okay? It goes to both of these, okay? So we get 10x, right, nice and neat now all the time, okay? So that way you can go back later at the end of the thing and check it and make sure you did all your little divisions, all your little subtractions, that you did them correct. That's where you make mistakes. And sometimes on the answer choices, they'll put those there just to kind of confuse you, okay? Think, oh, they might have did a negative sign for a positive sign, and let's put one of them in there. And it's so easy to make little mistakes. Now, plus 9x plus 4 equals, okay, we got x minus 2. Okay, now what I'd do now, I'd combine like terms, okay? So what I'd do is I'd take the x's, I'd circle all the x's, just so you know those x's. Circle them, so all these are x's, okay? All these. Now, on the regular number ones, I'd square those, okay, or triangle them, whatever you want, whatever shape. But you got to make sure, see how I got a plus 30? You got to make sure you include that plus 30, okay? Just like I had to include that plus 30 in the 9, okay? You always want to include those, okay? So plus 4. Okay, so now let's add them together. So we got a 10x plus a 9x. That's going to be 19x. Okay, so 19x. Now the numbers. We got a 30, right? We got a 30 and a 4. So it's going to be plus 34 equals, we just bring down the x and the minus 2. Okay, I didn't really have to circle that one, but I did. Okay, so it really didn't matter right now. Okay, so now I'd get rid of that x that's on the right hand side. Okay, so subtract that. That's a positive x. Subtract that one. Okay, so what I do to one side, I got to do the other side. Okay, so let's bring these down. So I come down with an 18x. 18x. This comes down. It's a plus 34 equals, these two cross each other out, and I got a negative 2. Negative 2. Now, I still want to get the x by itself. So let's get rid of the 34. So I'm going to subtract 34 from both sides. I'm going to subtract 34 from this side. And what I do to one side, I got to do to the other side. Minus 34. So let's bring this down. Okay, these two cross each other out. The 18x comes down. 18x equals, okay, now I got a, just think on the number line now. You got a minus 2, and you're going on the minus side 34 more. How many you got? You add them together, you get 36. So it's going to be a minus 36. 36, okay? So, hey, I'm not doing bad here at all. Okay, now what I got to do, I got to still get the x by itself. I divide by 18 on this side. You divide by 18, and what you do on one side, you got to do the other side. Okay, so this is pretty easy. So these two cross each other out. So I got x equals, now I got a negative divided by negative divided by a positive. It's going to be a negative, okay? So it's going to be a negative. 36 divided by 18 is 2. And that's it. That's the answer. Square this off so the teacher knows, hey, that's my answer. But you see how it kind of wrote nice and neat? Okay, that's the key when you do these long problems like this, because you will want to go back at the end and look at this stuff and say, hey, did I make any small math errors, okay? Because that's going to cost you, okay? So just like I always say, never be the first one to turn in your test or your quiz. Always be the last one. Hey, they're flipping the lights, the bell's ringing, they're kicking you out of the class. That's when you turn in your test. But you went over and you checked, hey, did I subtract 3 from 14? You know, did I add 3 to 14 and get 17? Or did I get 16? And you can make these simple mistakes, okay? If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have any mathematical friends or know any students in school, please share this with them because maybe this will help them get better grades. Thank you very much. Have a great day now. Bye-bye.